Tannehill, he's getting killed and buried right now in all of this, okay? So Tannehill talking about, hey, it's not my job to know. I think we have the video, actually. Let's run the video of Ryan Tannehill talking about Malik Willis getting drafted to the Tennessee Titans.
In a quarterback room in the same room, we're competing against each other. We're watching the same tape. We're doing the same drills. I don't think it's my job to mentor him, but if he learns from me along the way, then that's a great thing.
No ill intent, I don't think. He just said, like, hey, it's not my job to mentor him. It didn't sound like he was putting him down. But I think the bigger story here is this happens at every position, right? The NFL is trying to get younger and cheaper at every single position. When it happens at the quarterback position, obviously it's conversation because the quarterbacks run the league. Now, to learn a little bit more about Ryan Tannehill and his state of mind, we have to look deeper into his conversation yesterday in his press conference. I guess after the loss to the Bengals, second straight year, losing a playoff game at home, their first playoff game, not being able to get past 2 years ago the Ravens, last year the Bengals. He said he went into a very dark place. Like, hey, he said it's a deep scar. Tannehill said of the loss, every time I closed my eyes, I kind of rewatched the game. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep for weeks. I was in a dark place, and it took me a while. A lot of work to get out of it. I've worked through it, but therapy, talking to people, time helped. It took a lot of work to get through it, Tannehill said. He had a lot of therapy sessions and is now able to look back on the game and learn from it while moving on. Speaking of therapy, he actually said, this is the first time that I absolutely needed therapy to pull me out of a dark space. Now, that's via ESPN. Paul Kuharski had a video. Tannehill, whenever he was asked that question, is like, man, just a few weeks ago, I fucking didn't even want to be. I'm not a coach now. I'm trying to figure my own shit out. I'm trying to fucking win a playoff game here. They just paid me $100 million a couple years ago. Like, there's a lot of expectations around here. I hope this dude does great. If he learns from me, that's awesome. But I think Tannehill probably made a decision as he was going through all that, like, I have to commit myself fully to whatever he's going to do. And I think that's getting lost in the discussion of mentorship as a whole in this entire situation.
Yeah, I think it's interesting seeing this. I mean, what he's saying is true. It's factual. Like, he's not his job to mentor anybody. Now, yes, should you? Most likely. Should it happen naturally? Yes, it should. It doesn't need to be forced upon from the media and other people. The question you could ask, I'd ask Malik Willis, hey, are you looking forward to having Tannehill, or are you looking forward to learning from Tannehill? You don't have to say, like, from him being a mentor, like, put an official title to it, but is Tannehill even old enough to know or to have seen when Favre said, like, it wasn't his job to coach Aaron when he came in?
No, maybe. Yeah, I'd assume he's a fan of the game. He's a wide receiver, too, so I'd assume he paid attention to all that stuff. Remember Tannehill back in the day.
It was a big deal back then. Do you remember that when they asked Brett, and he's like, it's not my job to mentor anybody.
Big deal with Brett and Aaron. Big deal with Ben Roethlisberger and Mason Rudolph a couple years ago when Ben basically said, it is not my job to be a mentor. I think there's two different ways to look at it, and obviously everybody's torn. And you kind of alluded to it, like, should it happen naturally? Yes. But in a movie, right, when people are writing a movie, especially about their favorite players or a quarterback, an NFL quarterback, in the movie, the feel-good movie, that person is turning over every single piece of game that they had acquired through their entire NFL career, all their bumps and lumps and scars and hours of work and things that they picked up through hard knowledge. They just got to turn that over in the first month or two so they can hand the keys over to their job and a position immediately. That's how it is. That how people expect it to go, though, honestly?
I guess. I mean, I think this is – I know you had Dahn on here, and he said this is overblown, and I agree. Like, it is overblown, all this talk about what you're going to do. I would imagine Tannehill seems like a great guy. He and Willis are going to have a great relationship. He is going to be his quasi-mentor without having to sit there and get a notary to sign off that's saying this is what I'm going to do. Like, it's going to happen naturally. But the question is, how do you want to handle it publicly with the media? Yeah, of course. Like, the question being asked, like, I can understand Tannehill's head and his mind saying, yeah, of course. No, I'm going to go out here and I have to play great football, or I'm not going to be on this team, whether he's here or not.
Hold on. What if he gives an answer where he's fully focused on mentoring Malik Willis? The fans are going to say, this guy isn't focused on winning games right now.
Yeah.
He's just handing over his job?
He should have gone the other way. He should have done, you know what? Every waking second of my life now is committed to making Malik Willis the best quarterback possible. What if he'd have done that?
I'm fucking giving him tests. You think what he's getting from the coaches is going to be tough? Wait until I'm testing him on Wednesday morning about what's coming in on the Wednesday install. That's what Malik Willis is looking to. I'm focused on that much more than I'm even focused on winning games, because like right now, that's what matters. Okay, so he should tell him.
Like, I'm gonna fight for Willis to get first team reps. I'm gonna give him some of my reps every single day.
Yeah, because in a lot of places the backup gets like next to no reps with the starters. Not here. I'm actually sacrificing 75% of them. Hey, he
I
needs
wish
more
he would
than
have trolled everybody and done something like that.
But I think that's why what you're referring to is important. Like, this is going to naturally happen. Tannehill doesn't seem like a fucking dick of a person.
If they're both good dudes, if Tannehill seems like a good dude, Malik Willis seems like a good dude, I have a feeling they're going to get along very well.
Yeah, there's no ill intent in Paul Kuharski's video. You know, he's like, it wasn't like I'm shutting down every conversation, but we are in a quarterback room together, and if he learns stuff, he's going to learn stuff. I enjoy it, but there's been split. Kurt Warner said, if anybody needs a mentor, he can call me. I will never understand the I'm not here to mentor the next guy mentality. So for all you young QBs that need a mentor, DM me, and I'll be that guy. Happy to help in any way I can. By the way, young quarterbacks should hit up Kurt Warner and try to get some information out of him. And I think anytime you can get free advice from somebody that's been there, done that in any field that you are currently trying to attack, you should go and get advice or be mentored. With that being said, Kurt also knows where Tannehill's coming from.
Yeah.
You know, he also
Absolutely.
knows. Yeah, he knows where Tannehill's coming from. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Of course, you're not going to be happy about it. You're going to be pissed, but that's what drives every athlete. Like, you know, giving it to, like, okay, somebody when I was in the third grade looked at me wrong. Okay, well, I'm 35 years old, but it still feels good because I'm proving that person wrong. Like, that's what drives athletes.
Hey, that person really said some shit way back. You remember that? But that's real. That is very real. What were you going to say, Connor?
Like, people are acting as if, you know, Tannehill's saying, like, yeah, if Malik Willis asked me a question, I'm going to tell him to fuck off. Like, that's obviously not the case. And you talked about it with Luck and Peyton. Like, you didn't think he needed to just, like, mentor him, teach him everything. But just for him to see how you're supposed to act, is more important than actually, like, having the QB1 or the veteran sit you down and basically walk you through, like, every game or practice.
Especially with how smart Andrew Luck was. If he would have just seen just one, all he needs is one instance of each situation, and it would have been like, oh, I'm allowed to have the confidence to say, nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Like, those are
Peyton probably saw that from somebody at some form at some point in his career. I'm guessing, like, oh, okay, I can be this guy. Maybe it was his dad, maybe it was other people, but he saw that too, probably, where he was like, all right, and he banked that in the back of his brain.
like, hey, I'm allowed to say we're not doing that. Like, that's not, I'm much more comfortable with this situation right here. This is what we're going to do. That's why I think in my eyes, and I guess you lived it, but in a lot of people that have been around or been lucky enough to be on a team where a quarterback is, you know, a guy, like, hearing that Aaron had no say for like 15 years, that was wild to me. That was absolutely, I was mind blown. I just automatically, because I am an idiot, I am a sports stooge. What I experience, I just assume a lot of people have experienced, and that's just kind of how it is. So whenever I see Peyton do his thing, and then he's also in the pantheon of the same exact people there, you just assume that's the case. It is not, but they're changing. They're changing. They're coming around.